Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, once heralded as the modern face of royalty, have become global punchlines in a relentless wave of comedic takedown. From Chris Rock's Netflix jabs to Trevor Noah's sly one-liners and Ricky Gervais's brutal roasts, their carefully curated narrative of independence and authenticity has been skewered by comedians who've exposed the contradictions in their post-royal brand. As President Trump announces a UK trade deal with a quip about keeping the Sussexes in America, the couple's silence amid the laughter speaks volumes. This isn't just mockery, it's a cultural shift, with satire stripping away their fairy tale and leaving them as the royal jesters no one asked for. On the 1st of August, 2025, President Trump announced a new trade deal with the UK, quipping that Britain's only demand was for the US to keep Harry and Meghan. The line, delivered with his signature smirk, landed like a bombshell, cementing the Sussexes as a laughingstock in America. The jab wasn't just political, it echoed a growing sentiment that Harry and Meghan's brand, built on fleeing royal oppression, has become a caricature. Their Netflix deal, with Meghan's lifestyle show set for March 2026, only fuels the irony, as comedians like Chris Rock mock their output in front of the very executives bankrolling them. The public, from X to late-night audiences, lapped it up, with memes and hashtags like #keep them there, amplifying the ridicule. Chris Rock's upcoming Netflix special, set to air in late August 2025, takes no prisoners, with a line about Netflix throwing money at Harry and Meghan without a specific plan, drawing roars from Hollywood's elite. Trevor Noah, in a recent stand-up, delivered a quieter but sharper jab. Does a financially independent duchess file a W-2? The line exploded online, not for cruelty but for exposing the gap between their regular people narrative and their Montecito mansion lifestyle. These weren't wild accusations. Comedians simply held up the Sussexes' own words, from Oprah interviews to their Netflix docuseries, and let the contradictions speak. The audience laughter wasn't just amusement. It was permission to question a narrative that felt increasingly staged. Meghan's claim of being a self-made star before royalty was dismantled by Colin Jost on Saturday Night Live, who quipped, "Nobody watched Suits until she got engaged to Harry." The line stung because it highlighted a truth. Meghan's fame surged post-engagement, not from her cable drama role. Her story of struggling with royal protocols, like curtsying to the Queen, became comedy gold, with British comics mocking her surprise at centuries-old traditions. "It's like joining NASA and complaining about math," one comedian said, capturing the disconnect. The public, especially in the UK, found her complaints tone-deaf, turning her medieval, curtsy anecdote into a symbol of her failure to grasp royal life. South Park's Worldwide Privacy Tour episode, aired in 2023, portrayed Meghan as an attention-obsessed diva and Harry as her spineless sidekick, sparking both outrage and applause. Defenders called it bullying. Fans hailed it as satire, holding the powerful accountable. Simon Brodkin, in a 2025 stand-up, summed up their Netflix docuseries as 6 hours of drone shots and humble brags, a line that went viral for its painful accuracy. The series' polished visuals, drone footage, soft piano, and Meghan's designer-clad simplicity felt less vulnerable, more like a lifestyle brand. Brodkin's honesty, devoid of malice, resonated because it echoed public fatigue with their overproduced narrative. Comedian Alyssa Limperis's viral 2025 sketch parodying Meghan as a wellness chef obsessed with cucumber placement and infusing bread with intention was a masterclass in satire. Mimicking Meghan's curated calm, Limperis exposed the absurdity of her polished Montecito aesthetic designer boots for chicken feeding, floral arrangements screaming luxury. The sketch, amassing millions of views, didn't exaggerate. It mirrored Meghan's public persona so closely it felt like a documentary. X users reposted it with comments like, "This is too real," reflecting a growing skepticism of Meghan's authenticity. The parody worked because it tapped into a public ready to laugh at a narrative that felt more scripted than sincere. John Mulaney, known for subtle humor, reframed Harry as less a rebel prince and more a man dodging responsibility, joking he left royalty not for love, but because he didn't like rules or sobriety. The quiet jab, delivered with a raised eyebrow, shifted Harry's image from romantic hero to lost soul, resonating with audiences who nodded in agreement. Ricky Gervais, never one for subtlety, incinerated their narrative in a 2025 special. They quit royalty for media pressure, then signed every talk show, doc, and book deal money could buy. His gut punchline, "Meghan didn't Google the royals?" That's like applying to be a heart surgeon without checking what a heart is. Exposed their privacy claims as hypocritical, turning sympathy into satire. Harry and Meghan's silence amid the comedy onslaught is deafening. No clapbacks, no PR statements, no tearful interviews, just a void that fuels speculation. Once vocal with Oprah confessions and podcast monologues, their retreat suggests they're either stunned or strategically avoiding a losing battle. Responding to Gervais or South Park risks amplifying the mockery, but their silence lets the jokes define them. Posts now frame Meghan as fame-obsessed, Harry as her +1, their narrative, a grievance machine. Without a counter, the public assumes the comedians are right, turning punchlines into perceived truths. Harry and Meghan's transformation from royal rebels to comedy's punching bags marks a brutal cultural shift. Trump's trade deal quip, paired with relentless roasts from Chris Rock, Trevor Noah, Ricky Gervais, and others, has dismantled their narrative of authenticity. Comedians didn't invent lies, they amplified the contradictions in the Sussexes' words, from Meghan's suitsmith to their privacy paradox. South Park's caricatures, Lim Paris's parodies, and Gervais's logic have made their brand synonymous with hypocrisy, not healing. Their silence only deepens the damage, letting satire rewrite their legacy. As the laughter lingers, one question remains. Can they reclaim their story, or will the jokes outlive their crown? Is the comedy targeting Harry and Meghan fair accountability or unfair bullying? Can they recover their narrative, or are they forever comedy's punchline? Share your thoughts below. This royal roast is far from over.